Thank you. So today marks the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, when mainly black marchers demanding the right to vote crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, encountering a line of state and county officers who violently attacked them with billy clubs, whips, and tear gas, causing widespread injuries and trauma. By next year, it may be a crime to mention this. Any history other than the sword praising the white man may be illegal to mention. Let me share with you an old message from Pete Seeger. I'm convinced that if the world survives these dangerous times, it'll be the tens of millions of small things that do it. Keep on. I don't need to tell you that we live in dangerous times. Oligarchs and madmen are ruling large parts of the world and have now fully taken over the United States, adding unprecedented hazards to the future of our already much degraded planet and her inhabitants, who already are many species less than in older times. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and their court sycophants hold the American government by the neck, squeezing it harder and harder, and working on taking all life out of it. Our lives are being squeezed too. I have no doubt that some of you here today have already lost their jobs because of these men. Others are afraid this will happen to them. Some have lost or are about to lose their health care, their veterans benefits, Social Security, child care. Some, as we've heard, are threatened because they do not define themselves as woman or man, or because they love people of their own gender. Labs looking for solutions to our many problems have been closing down. A child and an adult have died of measles in the span of 1 week. The last time one child died was a decade ago. The man leading the Department of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, he is responsible for 83 deaths in 2019 in the tiny island of Samoa. 79 of them were children under 5. Him preaching against the MMR vaccination resulted in his deaths. 5,700 in that tiny place were sick with this very dangerous and contagious disease. These are all par for the course in Trump world, where education, healthcare, food for children and others living in poverty, the environment, flight safety, nuclear weapons safety, for goodness sake, and every life-sustaining function are all being canceled so these obscenely wealthy hominid can become wealthier. They are the dragons who will scorch the whole world so they can sit on their gold. I'm afraid that very soon many people will be dying in the streets and in their homes, if they still have homes. And those numbers will grow exponentially as the resources available to anyone but the richest dwindle down and disappear altogether. Other countries are also all about more money for oligarchs. In Gaza, Trump's desired Riviera of the Middle East, boom. A so-called ceasefire means that Israel keeps killing Palestinians daily, aid is prohibited by Netanyahu from coming in, Gazans live in tents on rubble, healthcare availability is below minimal. This genocide and the ethnic cleansing going on in the West Bank are and have been the responsibility of the US as much as Israel. Biden and Trump are both culpable. Say something. The Ukrainians, who have been fighting America's and Europe's proxy war against Russia, are suddenly left without the means to fight, following the decisions by Russia lovers Trump and Musk. They're being forced to let the US plunder their natural resources in order to have a semblance of peace. And I really shouldn't have said the United States. We are talking about Trump and Musk and their wealthy friends. Friends. I don't know that there are friends in that world. And of course, we have a climate crisis that is not being tended to, and a president who talks about drill baby drill, even as drilling is not only killing our one and only planet, but is also becoming significantly less profitable. And he's cutting the resources that were dedicated to fighting wildfires, storms, and other consequences of climate disaster. Let me also remind you that as one of his first acts, Trump released from prison the 1,600 terrorists. Those terrorists who tried to stage a coup for him on January 6, 2021. They are just a fraction of the people, mostly men, participating in military training and awaiting Trump's marching orders. As things keep getting worse, the oligarchs will tell their followers that they're suffering because of immigrants, black people, Muslims, Jews, and the militias will lead the forces that are going to go hunt these supposed culprits. After all, the United States is the one that taught death squads in many parts of the world how to be efficient and successful in the job of killing and torture. We are all imperiled. The dangers are real. So what do we do? I am at as much of a loss as anyone else, but I keep Pete Seeger's words in mind. So first, here's some good news from no other than Forbes, reporting on March 6. Musk's net worth fell by $8.8 billion last Thursday. And his fortune is now down $121.2 billion from December 17th. Tesla ended Thursday trading at its lowest share price since Election Day. So that was the good news. The bad news, Musk remains by far the richest person on earth, leading number 2 Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, by more than $120 billion. How do you even understand these numbers, right? Both are still oligarch dragons. But continued protest, actions, boycotts, dumping of Tesla shares by individual organizations and government will continue gnawing at this wealth. These actions also seem to help create divisions and internal fights among the Trump sycophants. Getting rid of Musk, the immigrant who took your and everybody's jobs, will be a good first step. We may be closer to it than we imagine. But if or when it happens, we need to remember that Project 2025 is still alive and well. We must not stop when some people regain their jobs. There's of course the old right to your what we call representatives, though we do have some good ones like Francesca Hong and Mark Pocan. Flood the offices of the rest of them with phone calls, letters, tell them what you think when they dare to have town halls. I don't know of anyone in Wisconsin yet that has had a town hall, do you? Yeah, Mark Pocan, yes. No Republican is what I should have said. Vote for Susan Crawford for the Wisconsin Supreme Court on April 1st. it is essential that we disrupt Musk from buying our Supreme Court. Join organizations and work with them on the issues that are closest to your heart. Donate money, preferably to local organizations whose work you're familiar with, but also to ones like Doctors Without Borders, Middle East Children's Alliance, and other similar ones.
What about Ukraine?
Work in coalitions. Now is the time to overlook small disagreements and come together as a large, unified movement. We must stop being so pure that we can't talk with anyone. Help protect immigrants. Remember that first they came from them and eventually they came for you. Eliminate or at least minimize your purchases from people like Jeff Bezos. Move from WhatsApp to Signal and from Facebook to Blue Sky. So I will admit, I have opened a Blue Sky account, but I have not fully gotten Facebook out of my life. Can we all dump Facebook in the next few days? I will do it. These all may seem like small, almost meaningless actions, but each one of them is one of many millions, the ones that Pete Seeger was talking about. And surely you can think of other meaningful ways to chip at the wall of greed, power grabs, and ignorance that has been erected to divide the world into the few who have everything and the rest who have nothing. Our work now is triple-fold. We have to stop the madness with our actions while also preparing for things to get much worse. And we have to dream up the other world that is possible. Realistically speaking, even in the best case scenario, extinct species are not likely to return, and the climate crisis will continue worsening even if we stop the use of fossil fuels today. But the human mind is inventive, and new surprising solutions will show up if that's where we direct our attention, intention, and resources. Let's commit today to not only fight evil, but also to come up with good, righteous alternatives, ones that will benefit all, everyone. Thank you so much. Venceremos!